right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about reading for information, informational text. This is nonfiction, and we're going to be really focusing on the reading for information 7.1, 7.2, and 7.6. We'll, of course, go over these in class during our morning meeting, but we are citing evidence to support what the text says and analysis. We can determine a central idea, analyze its development, and provide an objective summary. Remember what an objective summary is. And you can determine the author's point of view. So these are the standards that we're going to truly focus on reading this informational text. And I'm going to come over here to this table. And I'm going to show you the article that we're reading. So here's the whole article, and you'll each have a copy, and you'll get to write on this copy as you go. And so if you don't have a copy now, stop the video and come and get a copy from me. Okay, so now I'm assuming everybody has their copy, and we can just look at this at this point. And so we have, I'm just going to do a little bit with you, but we're going to peruse this. Some of this seems pretty obvious, but just in case somebody missed it at some point, maybe you were out, when your teachers have gone over this in the past, then we just want to make sure we have all the information we have. So as I look here, I see our title, Earthlings Meet Venus. We have a picture, and this is a comparison picture of the planet Venus and Earth and how closely in size they are. It also has a couple of headings. Do you want to drop by and say hello? The most popular planet on the block, and neighborhood gossip, Venus in human culture. And so I kind of see a theme here of kind of like this neighborhood theme. Drop by and get a cup of sugar, drop by and say hello, the most popular kid on the block or the most popular planet on the block, and then neighborhood gossip. So you've kind of got this idea of, or looking at this, I hope that you have an idea of what kind of article this is going to be. We've got somebody who's trying to kind of play on words and play with the idea that you live in a neighborhood just like Earth lives in our solar system. Also, if you look closely, you have some definitions here that correspond. See, there's the number 3 for the number 3 here. We have that over here, and we have a final one here at the bottom. And, oh, there's one over here. Sorry, omnipresent. I love that word. And then we also have some numbers. Here's the number 1, the number 5, and the number 10. And if, just in case you don't know, this is the first paragraph, then you don't have to count your paragraphs. You've got your 5th paragraph and your 10th paragraph. So just in case you have any question about what is a paragraph, you'll know what that is. So here we have kind of looked at our article, we have our title, we've kind of looked at our headings, and I am going to do the first section for you, and I'm just going to chunk this. And so a good place for that I would recommend chunking would be here. And let's get onto this page. Let's chunk here. Sorry, I'm going to come over here. Then I'm going to chunk here. And then, of course, I'm going to chunk here. And when I say chunk, I want you to read this section and then respond to this section. So I'm going to read this, and we'll see if we can't read and write at the same time. And this is informational text. It tells you the author. It describes one of the planets. And this is the text style. This is a descriptive text. All right, and so that gives you an idea of the structure, the text structure, and I'm going to put structure up here because that'll help, because this is a descriptive piece. And then I'm going to read this section. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to go back and talk about it. So as I read, I'm going to be underlining, maybe circling, and then I'll come back and tell you why I did those things as we kind of review over here. Let's see what I mean by chunking. So, what are your neighbors like? Chances are you have some friendly neighbors, some quiet neighbors, and some people who live on your block that are downright weird and maybe even a little scary. Well, Earth also has neighbors. In fact, Earth has millions of stars, planets, moons, asteroids, and other planet other planets as fellow residents in our galactic neighborhood. So I'm going to keep going, and I'll come back and tell you why I'm circling and underline. While we can't stroll over to our celestial neighbors to say hello or borrow a cup of sugar, Earth does share a galaxy with 7 other planets that rotate around the same sun. Our galactic neighborhood has a lot of different personalities, from gas giants to freezing balls of ice. However, everyone in the solar system agrees, if you can't take the heat, stay away from Venus. It's the hottest and most deadliest planet in the Milky Way, and it just happens to be our closest neighbor. And then they've thrown in yikes. So, I hope that you can tell from the tone so far in this that this is supposed to be an upbeat article, that they are making a comparison. And remember, how do I analyze a text? You can make comparisons. There it is on the bottom. We're making comparisons here between Earth, I better capitalize that, and Venus. So that's our comparison. I have not even read the rest of this article. I'm simply talking about the first part because I've chunked it. I've read it and I'm going back to look for those details. So here we have this neighbor and this comparison that they are creating let's see, people live in neighborhoods. Oh, I can't spell and talk at the same time. Yeah, GHBOR, 8 hoods. And they're saying that, Earth is kind of like a person, and the neighborhood is the Milky Way. Okay, so it's a galaxy. So people live in neighborhoods, Earth resides in a galaxy, and this is called our Milky Way. So we've got our friendly neighbors, and you've got all this kind of description. Again, this text style is description. So here we have galactic, and if you didn't go down and check here, relating to the galaxies or galaxy, especially the Milky Way. There we are, Milky Way. And then celestial is the second one. And if I come down here, position to or relating to the sky. So any celestial body is anything in the sky. And of course, they're trying to be funny. You can't go over there and say hello or borrow a cup of sugar. But it does share with 7 other planets that rotate around the sun. So this is the center of our galaxy. And this is all stuff that you should be able to put this together. Our galactic neighborhood has a lot of different personalities, so they're kind of taking the planets and making it seem like people. This is personification. And of course, they have the giant gas, the balls of ice. However, everyone in the solar system agrees if you can't take the heat, stay away from Venus. So if you go back here, I can make an inference. I can start creating meaning that, I better pull that down a little bit. Venus is very hot. And so you can make that prediction that that's what you will be learning about as you continue to read. It's the hottest, most deadly planet in the Milky Way, and that's got to be a lot to say a lot. It just happens to be our closest neighbor. And look at how similar they are in size. Down here, this says a size comparison of Venus and Earth. And so those are the 2 planets. This is Venus and this is Earth. And you can see just how closely related they are. So I have chunked this. I want you to go through the rest of the article and follow kind of my lead, making those notes on your paper. You may write on your paper and stop. Read this chunk. Go back and make those comparisons, make those connections, make those summaries. So this is all kind of an introduction right up here. All of that is an intro, and you might want to look for some way to summarize each paragraph. That will help you. So have a summary here, a summary here, a summary here, a summary here. You get the picture, okay? Some summaries will be short. Remember, it's an objective summary. You're not rewriting the article. Let me know what help I can offer. I hope this is helpful to you, and let me know what you need from me. Thank you.